Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm doing that denture video that I keep telling y'all I'm gonna do and have yet to do. I'm pretty sick right now, so it might be kind of hard to understand me. I'm gonna try to do the best I can, but I really want to get this up for you guys so that you get your questions answered. Just a little background on me. The people that have watched my other video probably already know some of this stuff, but I've had mine for about a little over a year. I got all my teeth removed back in March of 2018. I actually had a dental surgeon do mine. So I was actually put under anesthesia and all my teeth are removed. You can be put completely under, or you can be awake. If you're like me, then I would advise you be put to sleep, because I ain't gonna sit there and watch them pull my teeth out. That just don't sound very good. It don't sound like a fun experience. But the pain was minimal. I didn't really, I slept most of that day. I wasn't really in any pain at all. As far as like the surgery went, I did have immediate dentures put into my mouth after they pulled my teeth. And that did cause me some pain, because obviously they weren't fit right, because my dentures were actually molded when I had teeth. So there was a lot of room for error there. And so that was the only pain I had. As far as like the incisions or anything like that, I didn't really have any pain. The only pain I had from the surgery was maybe a few weeks later. Sometimes you'll have bone come through your mouth, where they take your teeth out and the bone just breaks off. This sounds really scary. It's not. It's kind of like if you get a splinter in your finger and it works its way out. That's what this bone does. It is kind of painful. I did sit there and like pick at my gums to the point where I would make it come out. You will have stitches in your mouth. That's kind of irritating, but other than that, and it looks really disgusting. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much, to me, it was pretty much painless. I mean, I didn't really have to take any kind of medication. I wasn't really in a lot of pain, like you would think you would be for having every tooth in your mouth removed. And not all of my teeth could just be pulled. A lot of my back teeth had to be surgically removed. So, yeah. I know when I started going into this and like started the procedure, the what you call it, I started to like think about doing this and started going on with it, that I was worried about all these things. And just so you know, most of the time you are overworking your brain, because nothing is as bad as you make it up in your head, or at least for me anyway. I have talked to some people that have really had a rough time, and for me, I really didn't. The surgery was the easiest part. The whole denture process is a whole nother ball game in general, because it's a long drawn out process. And that kind of brings me into the questions. when you get your immediate denture, if you get one, you will not, it will not look right. It will not fit right. This is just something that happens because you have to realize that those teeth have just been pulled. So you have so much swelling in your mouth, and your gums have just been under so much stress that it's not good. It's just not going to look right. When I've got my first set, I seriously look like a beaver, like, fierce to God. Like, my teeth come way out here, and like the top two were like way down in that region. They were horrible. It's just the process. You can have them fixed over time if they're too big or too small or whatever. Make sure you go to wherever you got yours from, and sometimes you have to be an ass with them. Demand that they fix them because you spend a lot of money on them. Probably about 6 months in, they'll start fitting properly, and they will start looking 100 times better. Because all that swelling in your mouth is going down. Your incisions are closed. Your gums are shrinking, so it starts to look more normal. Around 8 months to a year, your gums have done stopped shrinking. That's pretty much what they'll be. Unless you lose a lot of weight or gain a lot of weight. I mean, there's certain factors that can change that, obviously. But for the most part, between 8 and 12 months, they're done. They'll start fitting properly. You won't have to use adhesives or anything. I haven't used adhesives on mine in probably since about 8 months or so. Because you'll also learn to keep them in your mouth. But that's kind of where I'm a little bit of my story with some of the questions that I've been asked. Some of the other questions have been like, do they look natural? Well, can you tell the difference? These are actually my temporary ones. And I will get into another video of why I'm wearing my temporary ones instead of my permanent ones. But that's gonna have to wait because that's a whole nother video in its own, and the company that I got mine from are not gonna like that video very much. But anyway, once you get so far into it, they start to look like normal teeth. Your gums have done drop back from where they've shrunken, and they start to look normal. One of the reasons they don't look normal to begin with is because your gums are so swole that they're literally poking those dentures out, like making your gum come out, and they're poking your dentures way out from where all that swelling and stuff is. Okay, how does dentures feel to wear? For the first little bit until you get used to them, it's like any other foreign object. You notice it's there. It irritates the piss out of you, and it's just aggravating. But once you get used to wearing them, you don't even notice them there anymore. When I first got mine, the back plate, the top plate in the back gagged the shit out of me. Like, I could not talk without going because I couldn't do it. But as I wore them and got used to them, it went away. My advice for that is to wear them as much as you can for as long as you can stand it. Every day. If you can wear them all day, try to wear them all day. And that gagging will go away. I'm not talking about if they're hurting you or you're in any kind of pain, then no, don't wear them. Take your ass back to where you got them from and make them fix them. Because this is like another part question, but because your dentures shouldn't hurt at all. It should just feel like they're on your mouth and that's it. They shouldn't hurt in no kind of way. And if they do hurt, then something's wrong. So get it fixed. And again, sometimes you have to be rude about that. I mean, go about it the right way first, but make sure that they don't take advantage of you, because these things cost a lot of money. What do dentures cost? Mine were, I want to say mine were around $1,200. And that was the cheapest at where I went. But they can range anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 or $5,000. It just depends on what you want and where you go. So yeah, it varies in price. And my advice for that would be to call around and get prices before you have it done, so that you have an idea of what you're looking at, because most people don't have all that money to spend at one time. So we have to come up with it. And do your research on the companies that you're using, because that's one of the problems I'm having now. Make sure that you look into the place that you're thinking about using. How do you clean your dentures? Most people just put them like in a small bowl of water. You can use like the denture cleaner tablets. These are the ones I use. Or I know a lot of people use vinegar. From time to time, if I run out of the denture tablets, I'll take and put a couple drops of dishwashing liquid in with them and shake it up, leave them overnight or however long, and take a soft bristled toothbrush and kind of scrub them down afterwards. Are my dentures breakable? Of course they are, but they're not as fragile as people think. Not by a long shot. I mean, they're made out of acrylic, so they're pretty durable. How will dentures affect my speech? Sometimes, and you can probably tell in my videos, sometimes I sound kind of funny. Most of the time, it doesn't affect your speech. The only thing that I really find that affects your speech is if the suction at the top of your mouth, if it's not suctioned in properly, and then it'll kind of like flop and you'll kind of sound weird. But for the most part, it really doesn't. Let's see. Trying to do you always have to use denture adhesive? No. For the first little bit, like I said, for like the first 8 months, probably, because they're not going to fit properly, and you're going to need that help to keep them in your mouth. But after that, you shouldn't have to if they're fit right. Like I said, these are my temporary ones, and I have no adhesive on them whatsoever. Will replacement dentures be required in the future? No. If, like I said, there are gray areas. If you take care of them and they still fit properly, then no. If you lose a lot of weight, gain a lot of weight, something happens to them, of course. But for the most part, probably not. Unless there's outside factors. What do I do if my dentures don't seem to fit anymore? If you have a warranty on your dentures or have some kind of plan that comes with your dentures, get them fixed. If they're too loose, there's products that you can, and you don't have a warranty. Don't do this if you have a warranty. There's a damn gnat. If you have a warranty, don't touch them, because it'll void the warranty. But if you don't have a warranty, there's products all over the place, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, stuff like that you can get to line your dentures yourself. One of them is this kit by Reline. And basically it's just stuff that you mix up that you put inside your dentures, the same way they do like a temporary Reline, which some of y'all probably don't know. They just like take it out, put this shit in the inside, snap it back up into your mouth, wait for it to harden, take it out, pull all the excess out, and then it's lined. So yeah, I mean, and this is like $5 versus if you were to go to a dentist and have them fix them. Now, obviously, if they're too small, you can't do that. If they're too small, then they're probably going to have to be remade. So, there's that. Do I need any special cleaning products for my dentures? No, you really don't. The cheapest way you can do it is either dish soap or vinegar. Both are really, really cheap and are not going to harm your dentures. I use the Polident Smoker's denture cleaner because I do smoke, and it kind of just keeps them white. It's the only reason I use them. Also, if you're looking for like the denture tablets to put in your dentures, the dollar store sells them for $1. I mean, you don't get very many. There's like 12, I think, but you only need one a day, so that still lasts you for 12 days. And they also sell denture adhesive, and it's decent. I mean, it's not the best on the planet, but it's decent. I mean, for $1. I also had this question. This is going to probably be a little gross, and I'm sorry. But to answer your question, I have to take out my teeth, and I'm just as excited about this as you guys are. But I was asked what is the correct way to put adhesive on your dentures. And apparently this is something that they don't cover when you get your dentures. I wasn't told this either. It does say on the back of the tube how you do it, but it's probably a little bit more helpful if it showed how you do it, and I'll tell y'all how I actually used to do it to make sure that mine stayed in, especially when before they started, I could start putting them in and just not having anything. This is gross, and I'm sorry. But if you see the inside right here, what I do is I take and put a thin line right here, a thin line right here, a dot, and then a dot. And that's how you would do your top. Your bottom, you take and put a line right here, a line right here, and a dot right here. And it's that simple. I know that was disgusting. I apologize. There's no need to be ashamed, because if you're watching this, 9 times out of 10, you're either thinking about getting dentures or you already have them. But yeah, there's like a lot of things they don't actually tell you when you get them. Like, they don't explain a whole lot to you. And it's really annoying because, like, they act like you are an expert and you're just now getting it done, so you really don't know what exactly is going on. And I'm gonna try, this video is already 21 minutes long, I'm gonna try, those were all the questions I was asked, and I'm gonna try to find some more questions just to try to answer as many as I can. And then if y'all have any other questions, you know, then I will do a separate video. This is an actually good question. How do they actually go about doing dentures? They have a metal plate that they fit to your mouth. And by fit, I mean like stick in your mouth to make sure that it somewhat fits in your mouth. They put this gooey pink shit in it, and take just like your dentures would be put in your mouth, and jam it up in your mouth. Shit oozes all out to get the impression of what the shape of your mouth is. And it's not a fun experience. It sucks. It's gross. But it's like a 2-minute process, and it doesn't last that long. They do the same thing with the top and the bottom, and then they put this piece of wax in your mouth afterwards and have you bite down on it. That's probably about this big around and about this long. And all that's for is to like get a impression of your actual bite in your mouth, so that they could make sure the dentures line up. Another question I get asked a lot is, do you feel bad because you have dentures at 33? No, I don't. Because I had really bad teeth, and I had abscesses and toothaches all the time. So, no, I don't care one bit that I'm not that old and I have fake teeth. It's just something that you get used to. Like, I used to not tell anybody that I had dentures, and then I just don't even care anymore. Like, I don't see the purpose in caring that. I'm not in pain in my mouth anymore. And for anybody that's actually had a really bad toothache or abscess tooth, they know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes a toothache or abscess tooth can be worse than childbirth. Like, it's horrible. Do dentures alter the way you eat? Yes, they do. You have to pretty much relearn how to chew again, because if you don't, it's gonna be a bad process. I don't eat with my dentures in, so I'm not an expert as far as that goes. I'm too serious about my food to learn how to eat with them in. But you pretty much just make sure that you're chewing with both sides of your mouth instead of just one. By that I mean like you talk, like that way you're keeping both sides of your dentures flat. But yeah, I mean, it's possible. My grandma was like 80 something years old, and until I had my teeth removed, or was talking about having my teeth removed, I never knew she had dentures because she never took them out. So, I mean, anything's possible. Should your dentures be removed at night? Technically, probably to give her gums time to rest. But there's a lot of times I don't take mine out. It just depends. But you know, it just depends on the person. But the denture places will tell you that you need to take them out at night. But that's kind of up to your own discretion. Well, my dentures become stained like my natural teeth. Yeah, dentures can become stained. Obviously. If you drink a lot of stuff that's darker, like tea, coffee, you know, things like that, smoke, you know, but they are a lot less apt to than your natural teeth because of the stuff they're made out of. You can make sure that you clean them a couple times a day. Or like I said, if you're drinking or eating or you smoke, get these smokers tablets. That way it helps keep them white. I've had this same set. Like I said, these are my temporaries. I've had this set for, I want to say, about 8 months. And y'all can see that there's not any staining or anything on them. So as long as you try to take extra care of them, if you do drink a lot of dark drinks or smoke, for instance, you can use a straw if you're drinking the darker things. And if you don't use a straw, just make sure you clean them a few times a day. Or use something, and when you're cleaning them, use something like the smokers tablets or vinegar. Works really well. I've also heard people say that they put a little bit of bleach in their water, which to me doesn't sound very good, but it's not gonna hurt you. I mean, I'm not sure it's good for the material that your dentures are made out of, but it's not actually gonna, you know, as long as you wash them off, it's not gonna hurt anything. So yeah, this video is already at 30 minutes. So that's a lot of talking, but I have to have an intermission. Give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. I started feeling kind of bad, and so I had to stop. But anyway, where do you start as far as looking for a place to do your dentures. What I did was I just Googled like places around where I lived and pretty much got prices. If I had it to do over again, I would actually do a lot more research on the actual company. And you'll hear more about that in detail in a different video, because this video would be like 2 hours long if I went into that now. But just make sure you do your research on the place that you want to get them done at. That gnat, man. What are the different types of dentures? You have full dentures, as like the normal dentures that you would see. There are partials, there's dental implants, and I'm sure there's a few more, and the styles vary from different, there's just different styles in each one of those, just depending on what you're willing to pay. But like I said, mine were the cheapest from the place that I went, and I'm happy with them. So, well, they fit right, they look right. I'm not happy with the company, their stuff. But it just depends on kind of what you're looking for and what your price range is to the different styles and stuff. Obviously, if you have no teeth, then your options are dentures or dental implants, and dental implants are way more expensive, and from what I understand are way more painful, because they actually put screws down in your mouth, and especially when you just had teeth removed, then putting screws down in your mouth, that just don't sound fun. If you're just missing a few teeth or you still have teeth there, they will do a partial denture, and basically what that is it just fills in the teeth that's needed, instead of like I have a whole mouth full of fake teeth. So yeah. Let's see. Are permanent dentures really permanent? We already done that one. Is it possible to have dentures put in the same day as teeth removal? Yes. They're not going to fit right though. But in my opinion, even though they don't fit right, they do help you. Because it acts as like a band-aid over the fresh one. You know what I'm saying, the fresh incisions. So it does kind of keep like air out and things of that nature, from where you're breathing, keeps like water or whatever you drink or eat from getting in there. So that helps a lot. They're not good for much else at that point, but they are good for that. So that is the upside. But are they going to look right? No, they're not. Are they going to serve their purpose? Not really at that point. Let's see. Trying to find questions I haven't already answered. Can you sleep in your dentures? I'm pretty sure we covered that one. And you can. You're not supposed to. But one thing I do remember that somebody asked me is, do you have to store your dentures in water? And yes, you're supposed to. It keeps the acrylic from breaking and cracking and things like that. Are they going to start to fall apart if you take them out of your mouth and eat and leave them on the counter? No. They're not that fragile. That's one thing I thought when I got dentures, was that it was just, you know, if I didn't put them in water, they were just going to like fall apart. That's not so. I have actually taken mine out and just like laid them on a towel and went to sleep overnight and left them out. When I do that all the time, no, obviously, because again, you pay a lot of money for them and you don't want them to be messed up. So, you know, store them properly, but it's not gonna kill them if you leave them. Don't put them in water every time you take them out of your mouth. Does it matter the type of adhesive that you use on your dentures? Yes, actually it does. Some of the denture adhesive will not hold your dentures, especially to the point of where they're not fitting properly. Yet, I found that the Fix-It Max Hold does, it's Firm Hold or Max Hold, one of those, works really well. And the tube lasts for forever. As a matter of fact, I have lost every tube and never finished one of them. So yeah. But I've noticed like the Dollar General brands and stuff like that, they don't keep them in place like they should. And as soon as you drink or eat something, they just pop loose, and that's no fun. But the denture, the Fix-It does work really well, and I believe it's around $7 or $8 for 2 packs at Walmart. And which leads me to something else. If you are removing your dentures more than once a day, make sure you have something that does not have zinc in it. Because if you're removing your dentures over and over and over and having to keep putting adhesive on them, then you can get zinc poison. So make sure that either you're using something that is zinc free, or you're not taking them in and out all day long to where you have to have adhesive more than once a day. So yeah, there's that, and I'm trying to find some more questions. Okay guys, as you can probably tell in this video, I've had to stop like 3 times. Once was on my own, and the other 2 was because I'm trying to actually get peace and quiet to do this video. Y'all, do you think it's working? No, it's not. Okay, so is it possible to get dentures after not having teeth for a long period of time? Yes. It would probably be easier to get dentures then, because your teeth, your gums are completely shrunk, and yeah, so it would, they tell you to wait 6 weeks. Most places will, and that's just so that like everything's healed up and your gums have started to shrink. But ideally, it's probably it would probably be easier, but I I don't know anybody that would want to wait for years and years and years. My dentures will not stay in no matter what kind of adhesive I use. What should I do? There's something wrong with the fit of your dentures. Or you were not applying the adhesive like it's supposed to be applied. And you don't want to like gob it on there, because that's not going to help you either, because if it does end up working, they're going to be stuck, and it's going to be like you're pulling your gums off your mouth. And trust me, that don't feel good. I've done it. My back of my denture pops up when eating. What do I do? You're not chewing properly. Like I said, you want to make sure that all of your teeth are hitting each other when you're chewing. That way, you're keeping your dentures set in place while you're chewing. But again, I don't mess with trying to chew with my dentures in. I like food too much. After applying adhesive, it's very difficult to remove my dentures. How do I remove them without pain? Okay, one of two things. Either you are applying too much adhesive, like I just said, or you were not waiting long enough to try to take them out. Like, okay, if you apply adhesive and you put your dentures in, and let's say an hour goes by and you decide you want to take them out, it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt, especially if you have a good denture cream. And there's really no way around that. What you can try to do is either spread out when you take them out. That way it's a longer period of time and they've kind of loosened up over the day. Or take your thumb underneath the front part of your mouth, your front two teeth right here, and it'll pull it out just like that. Obviously I don't have any adhesive, but it'll pop it loose if you do like that. But if you're applying too much, it don't matter what you do, it's gonna hurt like hell. But like I said, if you wait a good amount of time in between applying the adhesive and taking them out, then you'll be fine. It'll done loosen up through the day, and it won't be as stuck as it was. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to read down through these questions and find like the best ones that I haven't already answered. What is the process before you get dentures? Okay, so I went to one dentist and they did x-rays and stuff on my mouth. It's not fun. They put this little thing in your mouth that looks like the things that the football players wear to protect their teeth. And you have to bite down on it, and they do x-rays. So that they can determine whether all of your teeth need to come out or certain ones, blah, 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 blah. And then either they will schedule you for surgery there, or my dentist actually referred me out to an oral surgeon to do my surgery. And They set me up an appointment, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months later, it seems like. And like I said, they put me under and pulled my teeth. That's pretty much the process up until there. Like, that process is so much easier than the denture process, because the denture process will give you a headache. But I think I've answered all the questions that you guys asked, and some that you didn't. But just a few thoughts of my own. Guys, when you first get this done, it is a pain in the ass. You're gonna want to quit. You're not gonna want to fool with it anymore. You're gonna think it's not worth it. Put all those thoughts into the back of your mind and keep going forward, because at the end, it's gonna be great. You're gonna love them, and you're gonna have a brand new smile. It is a long road to get dentures. It's so long. And I thought so many times, like, I'm just done. I just don't even care anymore. But I kept going, and I'm happy I did. Because my teeth look and feel so much better than they did. And you'll be happy with it. I mean, I cannot even tell you how bad and how aggravating, as far as having to have them have the dentures fixed, and the process of going from kind of point A to point B to getting them to fit properly and learn how to wear them and whatever is so frustrating. But in the end, you'll be glad you did it. So, and you'll look back and think, well, that wasn't that bad. So just remember that, just keep going, because in the end, it'll be better for you, and you'll feel better, like mentally, physically, you'll feel better. So just, keep going with them whether you want to or not, and in the end, it'll all be worth it. I hope I answered most of y'all's questions, because this is now like a 40-minute video. So those of you that have stuck around, y'all are truly troopers, and I love you guys. And if y'all have any other questions that I didn't answer, leave them down below, and once I've collected enough of them, I'll do another video answering all of those questions. And as always, guys, thank y'all for watching and supporting me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the bell. Bye.